Have you ever thought, why do I suck at fantasy football? Welcome. This is the Commissioner Fantasy Football Podcast.
Welcome to another episode here with the Commissioner, your host, your guide to hopefully a successful football season. And here with me again is my brother and my league mate, Matt Vitaly. Say hello.
Yeah. I'm right here, right now.
All right. So
Talking
hey,
to you, yeah.
as I told my brother already, I already did the first part of mostly of the AFC games. So this weekend there's 4 games that are AFC. The AFC team is facing the NFC team. So I did 2 games already, the mixed ones, and then majority of the games here I'm going to do the starts and bench. This is what it's about. I'm going to do majority NFC and some AFC NFC games. So you ready to begin?
And that's college football, right? NFC,
Sure.
NFC?
We could do college. It's starting up too. So
are they actually most teams playing, or are they still not playing?
no, they're playing. Some teams are playing. Some teams now qualified. I guess they were opting out, but now they're not opting out. So I'm not paying attention to much to this.
Pac-12 still good?
I don't know about the Pac-12, honestly. I haven't checked, so I don't really.
That's where the Packers come from, right? Because Pac-12.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. How'd you like the Thursday night game?
It was a good game for what I expected.
First half was good, right? Back and
It
forth.
was good. Yeah, but I expected more from the Bengals, so they got a lot of work to do. But
yeah, although Burrow did well. He likes his tight ends.
he attempted 61 passes, so that's he set some records there. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So.
It's just he's got to find a way to connect with AJ Green, I think. And
AJ Green got 14 targets in that game, so he didn't do well. I started in one league, and he basically flopped, bombed it. But again, he got 14 targets, so it's good for going future. So a lot of people are gonna drop AJ Green. Watch for those drops, and if you're in your leagues and you see AJ Green dropped, pick him up.
Well, yeah, I mean,
no, people play like that.
Really?
Literally, somebody texted me today. He's like, I started AJ Green. I'm dropping him. I'm done with him.
Great.
I'm like, you're not looking at the bigger picture here. You got a rookie quarterback. You got to establish wide receiver. He is older. 14 targets.
Correct.
About 227 air yards.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. No, nobody's getting that right now. So
also, I mean, they didn't have preseason. There was no preseason games. You can chalk this up to a second preseason game if you really want to think about it.
Especially for Joe Burrow. Agree 100%.
I mean, and I like him because he's got this intensity to him where he wants to win. So
confidence too, just that confidence. I love watching him. I did start in one league. I think I told you earlier, panned out, but it was a tough start. But I'm like, I'm going all in. So
yeah, I'm up against Jeff this week, and he did not start him. So
yeah. So hey, let's get to this game, which I don't think you're gonna like. We're gonna review this game right now to start or bench players. It's the Falcons at the Cowboys. It's a Sunday morning game. So,
yeah. Well, the reason I don't like it is because he has Matt Ryan and Calvin Ridley, which, as a previous owner of Calvin Ridley for 2 seasons, he has those big games and then he has duds.
I think it's a whole different Calvin Ridley this year. That's
possibly.
So,
I'm excited for my sake. I
game.
hope it's not, but
all right.
So talking about Calvin Ridley, right? So we have Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and then we have what's his name?
The running back, Todd Gurley.
No, not Todd Gurley. Who's third wide receiver? Russell Gage.
A lot of people are picking him up again.
I picked him up in Dynasty.
That's fine, but again, there's too many weapons here. Gage might be a future if something happens with Julio Jones.
Correct.
So that's for the dynasty. That's a good pickup.
But still, you have 114 receiving yards. I think he did not get a touchdown, right?
Yes.
114, 12 targets. Career high 114, by the way, as well. So I mean, he's getting targets.
Yeah, but Matt Ryan is not going to throw 457 yards again. So
not every game?
No.
That's not a thing? I don't know. I mean, Julio Jones, how many targets did he have last week?
I can't remember. I think he had 9 receptions. Both him and Calvin had about 9 receptions. So
Okay.
Look.
So Gage is
He's
up
a
there.
bench. Yeah, but we're talking start or bench this week. Bench.
Well, yeah.
So unless maybe you want to start him in like a FanDuel or DraftKings.
So what would he have to do to get started? Like, what if he's at
Julio Jones injury
just Julio Jones injury?
or
What if he
Calvin
has
Ridley?
2-3 back-to-back weeks where he gets you 15, 20 points?
You just can't depend on it. There's too many other mouths to feed. And again, Hayden Hurst didn't have a good game, and he got some targets, so he might be getting the targets that Gage was getting. So we got to be really careful with trying to tell somebody to start. So
Okay.
bench,
How are you feeling about Prescott?
I'm feeling great. I have him in a bunch of leagues. For some reason this year I ended up with Dak Prescott. I don't know, because he got pushed away. Nobody drafted him, so I started taking him later on. But he's an amazing start. Russell Wilson went off. Again, he's got weapons too. That's the thing. The defense is okay with the Falcons, but they can give up points just like they did last week. And again, Dak Prescott has a bunch of weapons.
I mean, you have Elliott, right? Who's a working horse, no matter who they play.
And they're throwing to him more. So that was interesting to see. They're throwing the ball to him. I like it. I don't own Zeke in any leagues, but I love it.
I like him, but I don't have him.
It sucks. Again,
I don't think he was even an option in our league this year, right?
No, he was, but whoever drafted him had the third draft pick. So I had the fourth one. I took Dalvin Cook. I'm talking about a different league. So I don't know which league.
You have like 20 leagues, so I don't know how you keep track.
It's pretty easy.
Also, how do you enjoy watching football when you're in so many leagues? Like for me, when I'm watching, I go, oh, these are my players, and I enjoy watching them. But if I'm in too many leagues, then some of the players that I'm playing against now don't want them to do well, but I want them to do well because they're on my team in the other league.
Doesn't matter.
Does it not?
For me, it's all a learning experience. And some players I draft a lot, like Kenny Golladay, I drafted in 6 out of 8 leagues. He was a person I targeted. I got him, but he's been injured, so it kind of sucks. But
again, what I'm saying is there a league you enjoy more than others, where like you really care, and the others are just for learning, or are they all evenly the same?
No, I care about the leagues I commission because I do it in tier PPR. We play on the sleeper app. We don't have kickers. We don't have to deal with all that crap that I have to deal with in other leagues.
People still doing kickers?
Yeah.
Why?
Everybody's still doing kickers. No, why?
Yeah,
because they get points.
I guess, but you could just get an extra flex and make it more interesting.
Exactly.
And how many leagues do you commission?
3.
Okay.
3 total leagues.
And the highest above those 3 is?
Well, our league that's been around for a while.
That's right.
The
one
League of Mediocre People.
That's right, people.
The league
We're
that I'm
very mediocre.
Yeah, the league that I like, because it's a 2-keeper league. My keepers were Kamara and Jacobs, which I love them.
You have Kamara for another season?
One more, and that's it.
What round did you get Jacobs in?
I drafted him last year in the 4th round as a rookie, so I kept him in the 3rd round.
4th round.
I drafted him in the 4th round last year.
Well, you got 2 first-round picks that you're going to get not in the first round, so that's good.
Pretty much, and that's how I ended up with Julio Jones in that league.
All right, anything else on the Falcons and Cowboys?
Those are pretty easy. Again, start Zeke, start Amari Cooper, start CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, start them. Don't start the defenses on these games. I'll pretty much start everybody except Gage. And Hayden Hurst, I mean, for me, it's
got to be a high-scoring game, right?
It should be. The only again, for me, it's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. I want to see if he gets more targets and he actually produces.
And so I do hope, for my sake, it's a low-scoring game. But all right, let's move on.
Game
Panthers,
number 2.
Buccaneers. This is what I want to talk about. I got 2 players on the Bucs, and I need them to do well this week. What are we looking at?
We're looking at Chris Godwin, which he was in the concussion protocol. So monitor that. I know you have 2 of those players.
Yeah.
So make sure he's starting.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Mike Evans is a start. Chris Godwin's a start. I think Ronald Jones got a lot of work. So I don't know if they're going to start integrating Leonard Fournette, but they didn't really use Leonard Fournette last week. So I'm starting Ronald Jones in a few leagues just because he got the workload, and hopefully he continues that workload. And this is going to be a much easier matchup than what they had last year against the Saints. Last week against the Saints.
Of course. But Evans got a pretty decent amount of targets, ended up only catching 1 for the touchdown.
Look, he had Lattimore on him the entire time, which the Saints defense, the corners are great. Yeah, Jameis Winston last year, same thing. When they played the Saints, Mike Evans just bombed. He didn't have good games. So, but again, these games start these guys. Don't start Gronk. Don't start OJ Howard, even though he got a touchdown. Don't start Leonard Fournette, and don't start the D.
I dropped Gronk in early.
Good.
Unfortunately, well, I just don't. I don't need two tight ends hanging out.
You don't need, but you don't need Gronk. Gronk should be benched. He should not be owned. He's touchdown dependent.
I don't know, man.
You got too many weapons there.
Yeah,
He'll get a touchdown. He might get a game with 2 touchdowns, and people are like, "Look, I told you." I'm like, I don't care. I'm not going to take the chance of starting Gronk, thinking, oh, when's he going to cash that touchdown? Well, there's so many other weapons.
As long as Kittle stays healthy, there was one game I may have started him in. So I was curious. I got him like 20th round or something.
Again, I stayed away from him. I don't want to have anything to do with Panthers. Panthers are easy.
Got it.
You start Christian McCaffrey, you start DJ Moore, you sit everybody else. So I know Robbie Anderson had a big game. He had that big catch. He caught the touchdown, but you can't, again, something I can't depend on. He did get some targets.
Yeah. I'm over the Panthers. I don't like just
But just start Christian McCaffrey, start DJ Moore. Let's move on.
All right, Lions, Packers. Let's go.
All right, Packers, you start the 3 guys. Well, 2. For me, it's 2. You start Aaron Jones, you start Devontae Adams. They're the main guys you have to start. For me, Aaron Rodgers is still kind of like, you can start him this week, but don't expect him to have another 40-point game or whatever, 39-point game.
You should never expect a quarterback to have a 40-point game, right?
But
20,
even the
25 points.
Look, Aaron Rodgers can come back and have a 15-point game. So that can happen. That happened last year. He had bad games because they're run dependent. They're really heavy on the run. So if you start Rodgers, don't think it's a slam dunk.
Think the teams are going to really start paying attention to Adams?
No, they can't. He's so good. His separation from the corners that cover him, no matter who covers him, they double team him, he still catches the ball. And Rodgers is precise. One thing about Rodgers, when he throws the ball, he gets it right where he wants it. So that's what makes Rodgers Rodgers. He's amazing.
Is he the new Nelson or?
Oh, I think he's past Nelson now. The type of routes he runs everything. He does
you got to update your jersey,
slants.
man.
No.
Still.
This guy's this guy.
All right. So Rodgers, Adams. Now Lazard.
I wouldn't start him because, again, I don't know if MVS is going to be more targeted because it looks like Rodgers was looking for him.
Especially for those deep throws. Seems like that's his go-to.
And Lazard got a lot of deep throws last year as well. So we'll see. This is a watch and see. Don't start the Packers defense on this one. I know the Lions are the Lions. The Lions are the tough thing to go through. So I have a bunch of notes on the Lions. The biggest reason is because Kenny Golladay is probably going to be out again. If Kenny Golladay is out, then you don't want to start Stafford. I would not start Stafford without Kenny Golladay. I'm not going to take those risks.
What about Adrian Peterson? Had a pretty decent week 1. Still new team. They haven't said that he's their main guy yet either.
For me, it's a 50-50. You could start him just for the volume. They will try to run the ball, but don't expect a great game. He might get 80 yards, 70 yards in this one. I don't think he's going to reach 100 yards.
80, 70 yards for him. It's not bad.
It's not bad. But if he doesn't catch any passes, then what are you getting? You're getting 8 points in a
he runs it in for a touchdown. That's almost 15 points there.
If he runs. So they did use Swift in the red zone. So the rookie, but again, I wouldn't start the rookie. Kerryon Johnson, drop him everywhere. He's done. The Lions defense don't start. So if Kenny Golladay is out, you got to start Hawkinson, TJ Hawkinson, the tight end.
Mm-hmm.
He does get more targets, and Marvin Jones is a big start. I still wouldn't start Stafford without Kenny Golladay.
Got it. All right.
And then,
Rams, Eagles.
Hold on. One more thing about this game. Watch for this rookie wide receiver, Quintus Cephas. He's a rookie. He got some targets. Really talented. I didn't put in the notes for you, but he's really talented. Just watch him. I'm just putting his name out there. Watch him because if Kenny Golladay doesn't come back, I'm gonna start picking up some Quintus Cephas for myself.
All right. Got it. All right. Rams, Eagles. What do we got?
Right. So let's start with the Eagles. Carson Wentz is
what
a
is
start.
going on with Wentz?
I don't know. It's in his head. He doesn't throw the ball away. He gets sacked way too many times. Their offensive line did lose two guys. They lost 2 guys. They got one guy back. So for me, he's a 50-50 start. Again, if you need to start a quarterback and if you don't have anybody better, start Wentz. But
It seems like ever since he had that injury, he came back from.
he's been never been the same. No,
Hasn't been the same
no.
Wentz. Are we ever going to see the same Wentz, or probably
Hopefully,
not?
he needs that confidence. He needs that Joe Burrow kind of like mentality, that kind of attitude. Hey, let's go again. Let's go. Let's go. Even Joe Burrow in this game on Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, now he threw the ball away. The other game, he got sacked more times. I'm sitting him. I'm sitting their defense. Yeah, no dejects.
Well,
Dallas.
He only had what 46 yards in the last game.
Yeah, looks like the biggest target came with Dallas Goedert, the biggest waiver pickup. I paid a lot of money for him in a bunch of leagues because I need tight ends.
Yeah.
So when I saw that he was
Ertz
available,
done, or what's going on?
He's not done, but he'll get a couple of catches and get a touchdown. But Dallas Goedert, he got like 8 receptions. I think it's 8. So I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it looks like he's the most targeted guy right there, and he's really good. He was a top 10 tight end last year, so he's going to be good. That's why he was one of the number one pickups. I got him in a bunch of leagues. I paid up a bunch of fab money.
All right, you're going Cup or Woods?
Both. You start both in this game for sure.
Okay. Although I feel like Woods is their WR1 this year. No,
they're using him more, so that he's more of the option, kind of like he'll run by, they'll throw him the ball, like hand it off to him sometimes. He's a short guy. He's more like that Edelman type, kind of the Chris Godwin type.
Mm-hmm.
He'll get more catches. The problem with Robert Woods is he rarely gets a touchdown. So, but for me, I love Robert Woods in PPR leagues because he'll get 8 catches, and that adds up. That's value. I got him in a bunch of leagues.
What about Akers?
Akers, again, I like Akers way. I thought he looked better. Malcolm Brown, I don't like Malcolm Brown at all. So again, it looks like the Rams are using Malcolm Brown more. He's a bigger body, but I think Cam Akers is more talented. So this game for me, I wouldn't start either of these. But if you have Malcolm Brown, you pick him up, start him. But I'm watching Cam Akers because I think he's going to be a lot better, and he's going to be used in the passing downs.
What are you doing with Goff?
Goff, he's a start. He could be a start this week, but I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't suggest starting him. But the Eagles defense, somehow I don't know what's wrong with them. So I know they lost a few pieces too. So
the whole Eagles seem like they're just not in sync.
So maybe Miles Sanders coming back. I didn't mention Miles Sanders is coming back. He will play. Don't start Boston Scott. If you have Miles Sanders, just start Miles Sanders. Rams are not the greatest defense. So look, I have Miles Sanders. I have a few shares of Miles Sanders. I'm starting him.
All right, Giants, Bears.
All right, this one, again, the Giants, for me, Daniel Jones looks good. He looked good against the best defense, the Steelers. So I'm very hopeful for Daniel Jones. He's going to throw the ball. He likes throwing the ball. So Saquon Barkley, you start Evan Ingram, the tight end. People dropped Evan Ingram just because he had a bad game. He had the toughest. The Steelers are really good against the tight end. People started dropping Evan Ingram. He got a bunch of targets in that game. He will get targets. He'll probably be the best, the most targets on this team. So Evan Ingram, you got to start him in this game. I'm starting him. Sterling Shepard for me is a start, especially in PPR. And Darius Slayton, you can't get away from Darius Slayton because he's a deep threat.
Now, Golden Tate is healthy.
If Golden Tate is healthy, I'll still wait to see how he plays, see how his role is. Don't start the Giants defense.
Seems like Shepard's his go-to guy, right?
Yeah, but Darius Slayton's also. So there's a split there, but I think it's Shepard got the bib.
From what I remember about Jones from last year, it seems like he kind of just goes to everyone.
He uses everybody, and Evan Ingram, I think, is probably will benefit the most because he gets in the middle of the field. That's what the tight ends do. They get in the middle of the field, and a lot of those options to the side, sometimes the quarterbacks can't get there or they can't get that throw, so they'll throw right to the tight end. And so Evan Ingram he benefited before. He's really talented.
All right, let's talk about the Bears. Allen Robinson.
You start Allen Robinson. Look, he can catch anything. So you start Allen Robinson. Anthony Miller is actually a start for me too. But again, if you have better options, go with the better options. Tariq Cohen in PPR leagues, you can start him because he's being used. So you start him, and David Johnson for me is a start.
Dynasty league is that's half point PPR, right?
Tiered
PPR, got it. So do you start Tariq Cohen in Dynasty.
Yeah, and to your PPR, you start because he'll catch a
Or
pass and he'll run it for
non-dynasty.
15, 20 yards. David Montgomery is not a start. In PPR leagues, I wouldn't start him, but if you're in the standard league, start him. Everybody else, see it. Mitch Trubisky is not a start. Jimmy Graham is still not a start. Bears defense.
Now, is Trubisky going to be their go-to, or are they going to flip-flop with Foles?
Looks like for now, Trubisky proved himself to be worthy of more starts. So we'll see where that goes.
Why would you pay money for Nick Foles and then not use him?
To put some fire under Mitch Trubisky so he can live up to his expectation.
Or
he's not the,
how old is Nick Foles?
I don't know. He's mid-30s.
He can't be that old, right? He's not like Roethlisberger old.
I think he's pretty much close to the same age, like 36, 37.
Yeah, Nick Foles is 31.
He's still pretty young.
Yeah.
I would have guessed he's older. So
31 years old.
All right, you want to move on?
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the Cardinals, the football team at the Cardinals. So that football team.
The Washington football team?
Yeah, that football team.
The team without a name.
Oh, that is a name.
Can we call them the team formerly known as the Redskins?
Sure.
Or is that still too offensive for people?
I don't care. The Redskins.
Okay.
So for the Redskins, it's you got to start Terry McLaurin, and that's it. Also, sorry, Logan Thomas, the tight end. The Cardinals stink against the tight ends. So for me, Logan Thomas, if you don't have another tight end, he's a good start. If you play in FanDuel or if you play in DraftKings.
What's going on with the Washington team with the running backs?
I don't know. So that's something I'm still watching because I love Antonio Gibson. I started him one league last week and it didn't work out, but I'm watching to see what they're going to do with their backfield. Peyton Barber got more carries. I don't like Peyton Barber.
They do have some young blood in there, no?
Antonio Gibson, the rookie. So hopefully, again, that's what you want to look for these rookies. A lot of people have these rookies, so look for them to get better in these games. For the Cardinals, you got to start Kyler Murray, as I mentioned, always. Mm-hmm. Kenyon Drake, you starting DeAndre Hopkins. Everybody else for me is a sit on that team. So
everyone. What about Peyton Barber?
Peyton Barber I'm not going to start him.
He's not good week one, no?
So he's not good.
Okay.
He's not a talented guy.
Well, I guess those 2 touchdowns helped, but
yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, Patriots, Seahawks.
Sunday night game, Patriots, Seahawks. All right, so Seahawks, you know who to start, right? You got to know who to start on the Seahawks. You start Russell Wilson.
Is he playing for the Seahawks now?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Oh, okay.
I think he's gonna have a good season. So Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and Chris Carson.
Was Wilson one of the most underrated quarterbacks from the moment he went into the NFL? There was a bit of a hype, and then everyone kind of bashed on him. And then the last 2-3 years, he's been the go-to guy.
No, actually, last 2-3 years, he's been more the whole entire team was more dependent on the run. This year, somebody was mentioning, and I think Russell Wilson said, "Hey, let me loose." Mm-hmm. He's talented enough to throw the ball. He's really good.
But he can run too.
Yeah. So I think this is the year, because years before you could start him, he'll get you like under 10 points. He could bomb some weeks because they run the ball, run. They were like the Packers are today, run heavy. Now I think it's a little different. So,
okay.
Seattle's defense, you don't want to start against the Patriots. I'm not trusting them. Sig Greg Olsen, Carlos Hyde.
Is Newton a start against Seattle? Newton a start against Seattle?
Yeah, I think you could start Cam Newton because, again, he has a rushing base. He could get you 60 yards rushing. It's not bad.
It happens. What about Edelman? Edelman's usually
you got to start him.
Do you think?
He's getting targets. He's the most targeted player on that team. So you have to start him, but expectations low.
So not the 15, 20 points a game he used to get. But
not with Brady. Him and Brady had a connection that in PPR you loved. N'Keal Harry, again, it's a 50-50 for me. James White, if you're full PPR, James White, I think is a decent start. Everybody else is a sit.
Sony Michael?
Sony Michel.
What did I say, Michael?
People call him He's been in the league like 3 years. Sit everybody else in this game, and then
also I have dyslexia for our listeners or viewers, so that's a great excuse to go to.
And can we let's go ahead and finish on Monday Night Football.
Monday night, Saints Raiders.
Michael Thomas is inactive. He won't play for a few weeks.
I'm pretty sure you should sit Josh Jacobs, though, right? You don't start him this week.
You start Josh Jacobs and you just close your eyes and hope it ends up okay. I know.
But is there any scenario you don't start Josh Jacobs?
No. Some guys, he's like a Zeke. He's like a Barkley. He's like a Christian McCaffrey at this point.
You start him and hope for the best.
Yeah. And Darren Waller, the tight end, he's a start. Again, he's going to get targets. He's a big-bodied receiver tight end, but he catches the ball. Everybody else, Henry Ruggs, you can possibly start. But look, Saints have a good pass defense. So I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't start anybody else in this game from the Raiders. For the Saints, Drew Brees is a tough start without Michael Thomas. My goodness. I think they're going to try to run the ball with Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray.
Is he officially the oldest quarterback in the NFL right now?
No.
Who's older than Drew Brees?
Tom Brady.
Is Tom Brady older?
Like 2 years older or something like that.
So Drew Brees is 41. How old is Brady?
43?
Is Brady 43?
43 or 42. So on this one, you can look it up. Okay. Yeah, see, Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray in this game is actually he could be a flex start. So if you have Latavius Murray, you can actually start him in this game.
Latavius Murray.
Emmanuel Sanders is a start since Michael Thomas is not there. Emmanuel Sanders looks like he was targeted. Jared Cook to tight end, he's a start as well. Saints defense is a good start too. So
Breeze is going to throw.
I don't think
there's no scenario where Breeze doesn't throw.
Why? They could run the ball. They could run the ball on the Raiders. The Raiders don't have that great of a run defense.
Yes, but I think Breeze just really likes to throw. So even when they're running, he just throws it.
I think the coach for the Saints, Sean Payton, will do different things this time because there's no Michael Thomas. So, I mean, again, Breeze will throw, but don't expect Breeze to go off and have an amazing game.
You still have Sanders. You still have Cooks. Kamara can catch the ball. I mean,
they're going to try to run the ball. You'll see. They're going to be focused on the run. So, Drew Brees is a tough start without Michael Thomas because, again, Michael Thomas is that go-to guy.
Got it. Can you believe we're in week 2 already?
I could. I love this.
Right.
So,
exciting.
Because again, for me, and I tell everybody all the time, this is a learning process. What you do this year affects your next year. The way you think about players. Don't give up on players. A lot of people just give up on players, and I
always feel like the first 3 to 4 weeks is a learning process, right? You're kind of
exactly
accustomed to your team, seeing if you can get some, last minute pickups. Anybody who, nobody knew was going to do well is starting to do well. You get those pickups and hopefully by week 5 you find a groove. You just hope people don't get injured.
It's okay if you go 0-2. I've seen teams go 0-5 and make the playoffs. Just play the waivers, pick up the players. If you're into it, I said, if you stay with it, you'll be fine. And then you don't have to do a lot. You just listen to a few podcasts. You follow a few people, and that's
just
it.
Like listen to this podcast, and you'll be fine.
Yes, please.
Right? Well, you don't have to beg people. Nobody likes.
Why not? You could beg. All right. So,
all right. Again, on that begging note, anything else to add?
No. Just enjoy football on Sunday. It should be a great day. Another great day. Play FanDuel or play DraftKings. I love doing that. And there's a new one I'm going to talk to you about. I'll probably introduce it next time. Monkey Knife Fight. I love that app. I won a bunch of money last year. Monkey Knife Fight. They finally got an app. They didn't have an app last year, but now they have an app.
All right. Well, on that monkey note, thank you guys for listening. You want to sign us out?
All right. Take it easy and good luck in week 2.
Dude, you better not be sleeping after that podcast. That was an amazing message. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Commissioner. Also subscribe on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Any comments, questions, concerns, send them to the Instagram page, The Commissioner, your fantasy football guide.